So after this, maybe I can share the slide lah, right?
Okay. I will introduce you the biography.
No problem.
Yeah. Online lecture session entitled Occupational Health and Safety in Engineering Profession by IRTS Sukhairul Nizam Abdul Razak. So let me IR Sukhairul received early education at Sekolah Menengah Methodist ACS Klang, Selangor, and later further study at University Technology Malaysia, UTM Skudai, in Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering Aeronautical. And IR Sukhairul received Masters in Business Admin, MBA, from Charles Sturt University, Australia. And IR is a registered professional mechanical engineer with practicing certificate since 2001 with BEM, and registered professional technologist with BOT that carry the title TS. So from BEM, we get the title IR for the students, IR from BEM, and TS technologist is from MBOT. So over to you. We are lucky to have you here with your vast experience, with your long list of experience. Yeah, we are lucky to have you, and you're the right person to share with this occupational safety and health, which is very important in engineering world. So can you share your screen, IR? Video, yeah, so that Aisha, can you take IR, sorry, can you share your slides again? So everyone, please ask questions, please pay full attention, because this will be some materials taken for your exam, yeah, on OSH, occupational safety and health. Very important, because you know, in engineering world, safety and health is very, very essential. Okay, so we shall listen to the expert. Over to you, IR. So I'll stop my video.
Okay, thank you, Professor Dr. Aduwati, and then thank you to all students for attending this morning this talk on occupational health and safety. Yeah, so today's talk is only 1 hour, so probably I will share with you, especially my experience working in as an engineer and then working with different companies. Yeah. Okay, so I have a Q&A after this at the end of the session, and then probably if you have any question, you can ask me later, right? Okay. So So for this lecture, I will give you the introductions into the challenging and evolving field of occupational health and safety that enable the participants to gain an understanding of ethical, legislative, technical, and management aspect of health and safety practice in engineering profession. Yeah, so I believe most of you will graduated from this university, and then probably you must compulsory to understand about this occupational health and safety. Yeah, so whatever jobs that you will pursue later, especially if you are the lecturer also, you need to know about the occupational health and safety, especially when you manage the facilities in the university, for example. Yeah, as my experience before as a branch manager, I'm the head of the branch. I also need to look after the safety on my premise, yeah, inclusive the human, yeah, and then the facilities and then so on. Yeah, so this at the end of this lecture, yeah, so the participant should be able to understand so the importance of OSH, identify key historical figures that have contributed to the profession. And then number 3, introduction to Malaysia OSH Act 1994. And then job titles of individual performing occupational safety and health activities, the safety and health professional role as responsibility. And then today I would like to share with you the awareness and practices, for example, in automotive industry. All right. Okay. So you can see from this slide why we need to study the OHS management. Yeah. Is safety and health a common sense or need to be managed? Yeah, so some of us believe that it's only common sense, everybody can think about this, but it actually is a kind of must do, something like that. It's compulsory to do. Yeah? So many accidents investigated by DOSH shows that most of them are contributed either by directly or indirectly by lack of control and poor safety provision at the workplace. Yeah, and then safety and health is a survival of the company. Yeah, so you need to take on this matter because of, for example, when I was managing Proton Ada before, if something bad happen, suddenly the hoist, and then the car can collapse. Yeah, And then at the end of the day, the CEO can be jailed or can be penalty. It's quite a huge penalties that will be incurred to the company. So we cannot play around with this kind of safety matter. You can see from this picture, this is in the airport. You can see that what happen if there are a lot of baggage here. Maybe it can be collapsed and then impact towards the public surrounding this area. So you can see that for this picture, there are people that are working towards the TNB so this is possible got the electric shock and so on. As well, you can see is that
we also have one, the most recent one on just a few days ago, the LRT cars, I mean the electric trains.
Alright. Okay, I mean. Alright. Okay, thank you. Alright, sorry. Okay. So can I continue? Okay. So this is the pictures that you can see is that final picture. You can see that these people working, this maybe they're due to a flat area. It's quite risky if you are doing the job. You probably got electric shock and so on lah. So it looks like the common sense, but you can see that the impact is quite big lah for the people that are directed to this kind of activity, right? Okay, all right. So I will go through this. All right. So what is occupational safety and health in the workplace? So workplace safety and health often referred to as occupational health and safety, or OHS. It's an established procedure for dealing with workplace hazard and provides for enforcement of the law where compliance has not been achieved voluntarily. So involve the assessment and migration of risks that may impact the health, safety or welfare of those in the workplace. So it helps all employers and their workers decrease job accidents, injuries, medical illness, and also death. Okay. So why it is important to be safe? So first is save cost. Safety training save more money actually in the long run than it cost of accident. Like today talk, this is considered the training lah for you to understand what is safety. So protect workplace safety is important because it protect employees, the employer, customers, or public from death or injury, and then teach workers how to work in a safe environment. Okay. So the following pictures will explain to you directly why safety is very important in the workplace. Okay. So you can see that in manufacturing, for example, I have explained before in Proton, we have one casualty happen like this, and then on the spot, the workers died because of I'm not sure why, because we have the report lah during that time. And this is the things that happen, and then this worker work in near the electric matters lah, and then possibility this due to accidents involved directly to this customer or this public lah. So you can see is that this is one of the examples. You work with this kind of exposed with this kind of potential accidents, and then probably you need to have more precautions on working with this kind of environment. Okay. So importance of occupational safety and health, first is on economical, economy, and then it's more towards moral, and then finally is regards to legal. So these three items is very important, in order for us, especially for us to work in any engineering or any companies lah. It's not only engineering but other company as well, right? So this is about bird cause of accident data. We call this the Iceberg Theory. You can see from this picture, RM1, for example, is an insured cost, medical and compensation cost. For example, if you have any accident suddenly, maybe you only pay around RM1, but intentionally, we have another causes that probably more higher than the insured cost. So maybe some of us got insurance, protected by insurance, but you need to know that why the premium probably high, because they need to absorb this kind of cost, yeah, uninsured property damage cost, yeah, for example, the building damage, tool equipment damage, product and material damage, expenditure of emergency supplies and equipment repair and equipment cost, yeah. So another uninsured miscellaneous cost, for example, conduct accident investigation time, which paid for time loss, cost of hiring or training replacement, overtime, and so on, yeah. So you just imagine that just only one problems that you maybe face, at the end of the day, you have more courses on this kind of cost. Yeah. So this is adapted from Professional Safety January. Again, you can Google on this lah, right? So you can see that from this picture, this is the cost of accidents. Yeah. You need to pay for the workers' compensation. You need to give them the medical. Yeah, this is the cost of accidents that need to be paid lah, right? And then this is the causes of accident. Causes obviously it means that the root cause. Yeah. So root cause because first maybe because of unsafe acts. Maybe probably you don't have any SOP, yeah, in the company, yeah, and then probably during possible unsafe condition, especially during the heavy rains, got thunderstorm, yeah, it's quite a big impact toward this kind of accident, yeah. So from this root cause, we can find what are the solutions lah. For example, lack of awareness, yeah. For lack of awareness, then we need to provide a training, yeah. Training points, management system lacking, physical, mentally, and so on lah. So this is the things that we as engineers need to aware on this kind of matter lah. It's called the Iceberg Theory, right? Importance of occupational safety and health in terms of moral, yeah. Because we are dealing with people, yeah. When casualty happen, yes, suddenly the staff died, yeah. So what happened? So
this is so true.
Yeah.
This is so true. This is yeah. This is true.
Okay.
It is someone's mother, someone's father's. Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. So father, sister, brother, spouse, or daughter. Yeah? So from my experience before, when we have the workers die in Proton, yeah. So suddenly he left his wife and just a young son. Yeah, it's quite very sad lah, very sad moment during that time. And then what happened? And then the wife and the son needs to leave to other places lah, because of her husband died on the spot. Yeah. So okay. So this is the key historical figures. Yeah. So we want to know what are the chronological on humans that managing this kind of safety. Yeah. So in 1473, Ulrich Allenberg, a German physician, described industrial poisoning from lead and mercury and suggest preventive measures by published in the first known pamphlets on occupational disease from gold miners. Yeah. If you go back to the history, you are interested on study about this occupational, you can find this guy lah, the Ulrich Allenberg. Yeah. So then in 1556, the German scholar Agricola described the primitive methods of ventilation and personal protection. It means that the PPE induce common mining accident and disaster such as minor occupational disease as the difficulty in breathing and destruction of the lung caused by the harmful effects of dust inhalation. Yeah, especially if you are working, suddenly you need to work in oil and gas industry. Yeah. Maybe you need to go work in the mines, especially for us engineers, we are exposed to this kind of issues. Yeah, so you need to well prepare lah in terms of this kind of thing, right? So in 1713, Ramazzini, who is regarded as the father of occupational medicine, suggested that in the diagnosis, doctor should ask patient about their occupation. Yeah. So just now, let's say like he wants to purchase the insurance right now, or maybe takaful. So there was columns there. It mentions that you need to declare your occupation. Yeah. For example, if you renew your insurance for car, for example, you also need to inform what is your occupation. Yeah. If the occupation is a risk, probably the premium of the insurance also higher. Yeah, so that is very important for this for us to diagnose lah what are the possible problems happen if you are working with this kind of career, right? So emergence of industrial accident. So industrial accident arose out of the factory system during the industrial revolution in Britain. It means that during this century 1700, yeah, they got accidents lah. And then women and children work as heavy laborers under unsafe and unhealthy workplace. Yeah. So during that, women, children also need to work lah. So okay. And then in 1833, English Factory Act was the first effective industrial safety law. It provides compensation for accidents rather than to control their causes. Yeah. So insurance companies inspected workplaces and suggested prevention methods. And then during this time, the safety become injury and insurance oriented. So anything happen in work casualty, insurance will come in. Yeah. So this problem during that time lah. Yeah. Okay. So emergence of safety management, and then we have a role of Herbert W. Henrich, 1930s, developed domino theory and promoted control of workers' behavior. Yeah. So during this time, the problem is they are focusing on worker behavior and not management. Yeah. And then it caused people to think that safety is about policy worker. And during that time, this 1930, maybe probably this guy mentions that anything happened due to the worker's fault. It's not the management fault. Yeah. So during this 1930, and then they are enforcing on policies that maybe probably due to the workers' fault lah. So in 1970, Frank Bird developed the loss control theory. Yeah. So suggested that underlying cause of accidents are lack of management control and poor management decision. And then from the 1930s, they believe that this is due to the workers' issues. Yeah. But in 1970s, then they found that this is due to the management control and poor management decision. Yeah. But during this 1970, the problems. This theory is not popular because it only blames the management. Yeah, blame the responsibility and the control. Yeah. So in 80s, behavioral-based safety (BS) was introduced based on Henry's findings. Work by recognizing safe work habits and offering reward and punishment. It means that it's given the carrot and stick lah. If you do this good, and then you get the reward. If you do bad, you got the penalty. Yeah. But the problem for this, focus on workers and not on hazard or management. Yeah. They come up with the 1930s cases that is more towards workers. Yeah. And then reward and punishment system have flaws lah. For example, if you give carrot every time, and then people maybe they are focusing on reward rather than doing their job accordingly lah. Yeah. So in current development of occupational safety and health management system was driven by through further focus. Yeah. For in current lah, self-regulatory legalization in the United Kingdom in 1974, and also quality management movement. Yeah. So in operation and quality management, yeah. So we have focus on the safety matters too. Yeah. Okay, so in Lord Robin, the chairman of the Royal Safety Commission's report noted that there was too many OSS regulation, yeah, and then was fragmented or divided, limited in coverage, yeah, in only specific for hazard and workplace, and then out of date and difficult to update, and then inflexible, and then people thought that safety was government inspector enforce. Yeah, so everybody mentions that regards to safety, government. Yeah, so that is the mentality during this time lah. Yeah, and then Lord Robert recommended self-regulation. Yeah, in the Health and Safety of Workers at Work Act in the UK 1974, and then during similar legislation was enacted in Australia in 1984. and enacted in Malaysia in 1994 after the 1992 bright sparkler accident in Sungai Buloh. Yeah, so we Malaysia also enacted the act. Yeah, so you can see that in this 1992, yeah, we got a big explosion in Sungai Buloh. Yeah, and then you can see that it's very big disaster. It means that we have explosion towards to fireworks, and then numbers
Mercun
of
ya,
that is 41.
that is
Pardon?
mercun, right?
Ya, mercun.
Kilang mercun.
Mercun. Kilang mercun meletup kat Sungai Buloh. Okay, and then government, and then during this time, they got the summary of the cause of the tragedy is due to poor organization structure, poor companies management, poor planning, lack of safety management, and so on lah. Yeah, so these are the things that they find the root cause, right? So what's wrong in this picture? You can see that, yeah, we have a lot of SOP, yeah, we have a lot of policies gazetted by the government, yeah, but at the end of the day, you can find that people know about that, but they still do unnecessary things lah. They still not following the SOP, yeah. So the acts gazetted by the government is more towards a balancing act, yeah. It means that the governments need to focus on economic and managerial aspect, as well focusing on humanitarian, social and ethical concerns. Yeah, you can see that during this pandemic also the governments need to do some things like, okay, we also need to go to work because we need to generate money, economy to the country. And then we also need to enforce, people cannot go and then need to comply with SOP. Yeah? So this is the things that the governments need to do lah. Yeah? Okay, and then at the end, the cost benefit, it means that 50-50. Yeah? It means that the economy is going up, as well as the people also in any safest conditions lah. And I believe that is very good for us, right? So this is the history of safety legislation. It means that perundangan in Malaysia, we come up with Act 1994. You can see that the chronology started from 1892, Selangor Boiler Enactment, towards the latest one is Occupational Safety and Health 1994. Yeah. So what is Act? An Act is a bill law that has been enacted by Parliament. Yeah. What is regulation? Regulation are based upon the Act. All details of the Act are mentioned in the regulation. What is order? A direction of command delivered by a court or other just authority body and entered into the record, but not necessarily included in the final judgment. And then course of practice, set of written rules which explain how people working in a particular profession should behave. And what is guidelines? A statement of other indication, policies or procedure by which the course of action. Yeah, so these are the things that the terminologies that you need to understand lah regards to the law. Yeah, so this is the Occupational Safety and Health 1994. Yeah, you can see that the objective of OSHA is to secure the safety and health welfare of person and work against risk of activities at work, to protect person at a place of work, to promote an occupational environment, and then to provide the means to be progressively replaced by a system of regulation and approved industry codes. Yeah. So anything regard to the safety, you can just go through this OSHA 1994. Yeah. Yeah. So I believe that you starting working with the industry, probably your bosses or your superior will explain to you what is OSHA. Yeah. So these are the things that you need to know. Yeah. So the spirit of OSHA is a self-regulation, workers' cooperation and consultation, and all academic activity except shipping and armed force. Yeah, because forces, they got their own policies. Yeah, so for us as a public, we have this OSHA 1994 regulation. Yeah, so the guiding principle, responsibility for OSHA lies with those who create the risk. It means that the employer and those who work with in the risk. Yeah, it means that these policies is both for workers and also the employer or your boss. Yeah. Then the concept of so far is reasonable and then practicable. Yeah, it means that since 1994 till now, the act still being used and then is a proven success lah. Proven success being implemented. Yeah. Okay, so what are the duties of employer? For example, maybe in future time you will be the boss, yeah, you'll be the employer, yeah. So your duty is to ensure, so far as it's practicable, the safety and health and welfare and work of all its employees. It means that you need to make sure that your staff is in the safest condition 24 hours. Yeah, so that is your duties as an employer. Yeah, so you can find the term inside the part 4, section 15.1. Yeah, you can go and then maybe you can Google and then you can get the policies lah. Yeah, inside the Google also available. Yeah, and then duties of employer due to violate OSHA policy to prepare the written statement, appropriate revise of written statement, donation arrangement. Yeah, it means that the policies there, but they will go through the policies and then they come up with the additional policies regards to the company. And for our Proton, I have this OSHA Act, but I will take all those content and then put inside my company SOP. Yeah, so we go through the SOP and also my company SOP lah to to mesh whether it's okay or not lah, something like that lah. But I believe that all the OSHA Act is okay for my company. Yeah. So and then part 4 section 17, duties of employer to persons other than employees, and then duties of employer to person other than employees. It means that if you have this kind of employer duty, yeah, so you as a staff or employee, you know what are the things that your employer need to do for you. Yeah. So when you want to select what are the best companies that you want to go, probably you need to know whether this company provide you the safest that you need to have lah. For example, suddenly you need to work with this kind of the merchant one, yeah. Suddenly you find that that company is not safe to work, and then probably you won't join that company lah. Or maybe probably you will propose to the management to follow the OSHA Act 1994. Alright. Okay, the penalty for offence for the employer, yeah, they will be fined not exceeding 50,000, and then imprisonment not exceeding 2 years. Yeah, so that's the things that when I work in Proton, for example, last time I'm the manager operations. I need to make sure that all the SOP is good enough, yeah, and then can be complied. Because at the end of the day, if they found that the SOP is not applied, my CEO probably can be sued 50,000, and then probably he also can be jailed for 2 years. Yeah. So this is the things that you need to know right? And then the duties of employer, you can see that they need to provide you the medical surveillance, and then they need to have a safety and health officer, and then they have also that need to the safety health committee. Yeah, same like my university right now, I'm in charge on the safety items lah, so it's safety committees, and then we have a meeting, yeah, together with all the person in our university lah. So if this not comply, the company can be penalty 5,000 ringgit or 6 months, yeah, in prison lah. So that is the things that employer need to do, right? Okay, so it means that everything you need to notify to the nearest DOSH office, and also you need to report to the GG lah, and then general penalty, act of omission contract any portion of that, it means that you need can be penalty towards the 10,000 ringgit or 1 year in prison lah, and then continuing offence, the company can be need to pay for another 1,000 ringgit per day. Yeah? So if they are not practice the act accordingly, right? So this is the duty of employees. So there is the employer, they have their own job. Yeah, they have the responsibility. For us, if working in as an employee, we also need to comply with the act. Yeah, it means that we need to take responsible care for the safety and health of ourselves. Yeah, as a workers. And then we also need to cooperate with our bosses. Yeah, it means that when our bosses mentions that you need to follow the SOP, we as an employee need to follow the instruction. Yeah, if you are not follow that, and then the employer, our boss said, okay, I already instruct you, but you are not follow the SOP, then the act mentions that you need to go for the penalty lah. So you as an employee also can get the penalty. Yeah. For example, you are not wearing the PPE, you are not wearing the glass, safety glass, you are not using the safety helmet, so you also probably will get the penalty on this matter, right? So a person who contravenes the provision of this section shall be guilty of an offence and shall, on conviction, be liable to a fine not exceed 1,000 ringgit or to imprisonment for not exceeding 3 months. It means that you as an employee also can be penalty 1,000 ringgit and then can be jailed. Yeah, it's not only for employer, but you also can be jailed if because you are not following the act. At the end, you can see that if you are not following this act, is well exceeding 20,000 ringgit or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or to both. Yeah. So my experience in Proton, for example, I'm represented my employers, because I'm the managers. So I need compulsory to provide training for my staff. Yeah. So I give the training to them, and then they need to go to attend the training, compulsory to attend. Yeah. If they're not attending my training, so at the end of the day, anything happen, so this staff that is not following my instruction, they can be go for this 20,000 ringgit, or imprisonment not exceeding 2 years or both, So seems like, for example, if you are graduated from university, then you are not registered with Board of Engineers Malaysia, you also can be penalty lah. It's quite big 50,000, and then you can be jailed. So that's after you graduated from university, probably you got your cert, and then you must compulsory to register with Board of Engineers Malaysia. If not, you cannot work as an engineer. You cannot work as an engineer in Malaysia, right? So no employer shall dismiss an employee, injure him in his employment, or alter his position to his detriment by reason. It means that suddenly employees got a proposal, boss, you need to follow this SOP. So if you are not following this act, so how I want to do my job? This is not safe. And then the employer cannot terminate you because you are arguing with your boss to do this SOP. So this is the things that is also protected you lah as employees. It means that you can do comments or give the complaints to the DOSH, for example, regards to your superiors or your companies not providing you these kind of safety items lah, right? So this is the summary of OSHA. You can go through on this, So based on the OSHA Act 1994, this is section 15, section 32, section 30. So I also put the fees here lah, the penalty 5,000 or 2 years in jail, And then medical surveillance, the employers need to pay for 5,000 or the employers can be jailed 6 months, So that is the things that you need to know, So this is the fatal occupations injuries to all sectors in Malaysia from year 2013 to 2016. I believe that probably some of you will work in manufacturing, will work in construction, will work in public service or social bodies. You can find that, for example, in construction, it's quite fatality is quite high lah. It means that in year 2016 there was 99 workers died during their working in construction site. So you can see that in total year 2016 there was 240 staff died during this year. So you can see that is increase the volumes of the workers died during these in sectors, right? Okay. So in year 2019, for example, you can see that it's increased. Now is more 259 staff died during their working lah. You can see that in year 2019, construction is the higher one. 84 staff died during their duty as a construction lah. Okay, this is the Department of Occupational Safety and Health that data. It means that from year 2004, you can see that the fatality here. It means that, for example, in year 2018, there was 3,456 casualties, and then the total of workers died, it was 620. 11 died. Yeah, so this you can get this data. Maybe you can just contact DOSH directly. Yeah, this is number lah. You can get this data with them. They are friendly. You can just call them and then they will entertain you. Yeah. So what about the benchmark towards other country? You can see that UK, their fertility rate is very good. Yeah, it's not high compared with us in Malaysia. You can see that it's quite high for Malaysia. I believe that it's probably is quite a risk lah for us working in Malaysia. Compare if you work in UK or maybe you work in Australia, even in Singapore also quite safe, compare working in Malaysia. So that is our duty lah as engineer to make sure that we can decrease the fertility rate in industry. Yeah, this is one of some of the examples happen. Casualty happen in Malaysia. Yeah, and then probably the workers die on the spot. Yeah, because of this kind of casualty. You can find that the public also affected. Yeah, this on the spot died. Died because of this probably due to system failures or maybe because of the human errors. Yeah, you can see that recently there was the suddenly when you drive suddenly got something flop from the sky. So this is the thing happen lah. Right, and then this is the Highland Tower collapse, and then 48 people died. Yeah, due to its causality. And then recently, just a few days before, we have issues on the LRT. Yeah, if I'm also using the LRT before, I'm quite scared. Yeah, I also cannot. I won't go to this LRT. Yeah, so it's very scary. Yeah, you can see that people got suffer. Yeah, and then from the recent report, this is I just get this data just now lah. It shows that this is due to human error. Yeah, it mentions that due to the human error lah. Yeah, and then it's quite sad lah. It means that 6 in critical condition. Let's assume that we are the people that in this condition. What happened during this pandemic, and then after that you are affected with this kind of accidents? Yeah, it's quite sad. Yeah, so there's this thing that if we are engineers working with this company, for example, we need to provide a good service to the our company and well towards our consumers or our customers. All right. So this is the job titles of individuals performing occupational safety and health activities. Yeah, and let's say you want to interested to work in occupational safety. This is the fields that you can go. Yeah, for example, industrial hygiene, risk manager, safety professional, safety engineers, and also safety manager. Right. So last time when I was in Proton, one of the duties they asked me to be a recall manager, warranty recall manager, and then there was for example, car airbag got deployed and then suddenly the tire suddenly wear off. Yeah, so I need to recall back all customer, come back to our service center, we need to rectify your car. Yeah, so this is due to safety of you. If you are using the car, suddenly you got accident, you can be killed. Yeah, so that is the duty of us as engineer. We need to know that safety is the first thing, the top priorities that we need to do. Yeah, all right. So this is accident investigation, work with emergency response team, environmental protection, ergonomic assistance, and so on. Yeah. If you are design engineer, we have a FMEA, failure mode engineering analysis. Yeah. Before we design something, we need to calculate the risk. Yeah. What happened that we design like this? What happened to the customer? What happened to maybe the workers? Working regards to our design. Yeah. So that is the thing that we need to consider. Yeah. And then you can see that fire protection, hazard recognition, hazardous material management, and health hazard control. I believe this is opportunity for you, for us engineer. We have this kind of issues, although we have the policies, but still the fatality is still high. Yeah? So this is probably if you work later, yeah, maybe some of you will work this kind of environment yeah, maybe as a safety manager, yeah, maybe you are the trainer, yeah, you need to conduct the training to your staff, yeah, for example CIDB, yeah, they will conduct compulsory the green card training before the staff can work in the construction site. Yeah, so you as a trainer, as you as a coach, you will guide them how to work in the safest condition. Yeah. And then record keeping, yeah. For example, right now we are more towards IoT thing. Yeah? Everything's in database or in the cloud. Yeah. So that is your duty to make sure that all the documents is being provided in the files lah. For example, like the LRT one. Yeah. Probably they quite somebody's the auditor will check all the reports. Where is the preventive maintenance? When this train will have been maintained. Yeah, so there's the issues that come out when the casualty happen. Same like me when I was conduct the recall for Proton. Yeah, so all the comments I need to get through. I need to go to find the drawing. I need to ask the engineers what happened when you design this thing. You are not considered about the safety of the people. So that's the thing that I will ask them on this. Yeah. And then regards to my audit for Polytechnic, for example, I also asked the university to come up with all the documents to show that they are applying for the OSHA regulations lah, right? So this is the occupational safety and health practice in automotive industry. Yeah, when I was managing the workshop in Malaysia, I got around 70 workshop around the country lah. So my duty to come up with this SOP, yeah, for example, to make sure that the technicians work according to the standard lah. They cannot simply play around with the tools, yeah, and then they cannot work inside down the car and then got a poor working environment, yeah. So that's come up with the SOPs that we come up with and we establish lah. Even they are wearing, they need to use the caps, yeah. And then needs to have a no buckle belt, and then they cannot wear the watch. You cannot wear the ring, yeah, because those items probably can get a casualty for you. Even you cannot use any shoes, you need to wear the safety shoes when working in the workshop, right? So you can see that always keep your workplace clean to protect yourself and others from injury. For us, it's a common sense, yeah. This is oil, probably oil, no problem, yeah. But at the end of the day, this guy can die, yeah, because of our poor workshop management, yeah. So we come up with SOP where to put the tools, yeah, and then the cleaner need to clean the working area, yeah. So we come up with the SOP, okay. And then you can see that when you go working in workshop, this is the things that you need to wear the goggles, and then you cannot simply work without the glove, and then make sure that the hoist is certified by DOSH, For example, the certification for the hoist, for example, we need to submit for every year renewal, and we need to conduct the preventive maintenance to all the equipments that are available in our workshop. This is quite, it's a common, so you cannot simply doing smoking around the working place. It's quite really risky, so in Proton, for example, we have a space for people who wants to have smoke, it means that maybe outside from the gates, you can smoke, but outside from the factory, so we provide the place for them to smoke, okay. And then this is the things that happen if you just simply smoke and then suddenly the car can got fire, and then it's quite expensive for us to replace the customer car, For example, the SUV X70 is costing around 70,000. Can you pay to the customer 70,000? Probably you cannot pay because of this kind of faulty happen due to the workers maybe play around with smoking and then it's not not following the standard, And then, for example, electrical equipment safety precaution, just a common sense, how you charge your handphone, Probably you just charge the handphone one day, probably the handphone, the battery can be exploded. It's quite hard, So that's the things that it's only common sense, but some of us not ignore, You mentioned that, no problem, so at the end of the day, got fire, And then probably maybe people die because of our fault. You can see that it's so common, but still people doing this kind of thing lah, putting ignorance and so on, And then in the SOP that we come out, we also focus on near miss activity, For example, okay, it's not accident, but it probably will get accident due to this kind of things lah. So we report to the management, and then the management need to do actions lah. Yeah. So the ways towards successfully implemented OHS activities in the profession. Yeah. So let's assume that we will work in this kind of occupational safety environment. So what are the things that we need to do as an engineer? Yeah. So the things that we need to do as engineer, this is very simple. Implement PDCA and everything we do. Yeah. So anything we do right now, we need to plan, and then after that we need to do, and then we need to check, and finally we need to do action. Yeah. Let's say lah, if you want to drive your car, you want to go to work. For first, the thing that you need to do to make sure that your car, your tire is good, your brake is good, and then you go inside the car, you got the safety belt. Yeah, you're wearing safety belt, and then you see the the mirror, and then you start your car, and then you plan where's the road that you want to follow. Is it to this way or to this way? Yeah, so that's the things that you need to go through lah. I believe this is a common sense that everybody can know how to do it. Yeah, this was popularized by Dr. W. Edwards Deming, who is considered by many to be the father of modern quality control. Yeah. So finally, yeah. So knowledge for us, in order for us to be good, yeah, in our careers, yeah. So this is the project management success, yeah. It means that we need to be good in technical, yeah. So we need to be good in scope management, time management, cost management, quality management, human resource management, yeah, risk management, and so on. And then we also need to good in personnel in regards to our impact and influence, helping people, cognitive, personal effectiveness, as well as business leadership. It means that we need to know about the business, we need to know about the legal, yeah. So at the end of the day, the things that all these things is regards to the at the end of the day, the company survivability lah, yeah. So let's say that if you are not following the Occupational Safety and Health 1994, I believe that the company cannot survive, yeah, because they probably got accident, and then probably company can go bankruptcy, yeah. So that's the things that when I was working in Proton, we needs to or compulsory to recall our customer, because at the end of the day, if we are not recall the customer, and then probably the customer can die, and then our company can be sued, and then finally the company can go bankruptcy. Yeah, so we need to terminate staff, and then sorry lah, so no more working for us. Yeah, so that is the thing that OSHA, occupational safety and health, is very important for us to implement. Right? I believe that more than 12. Right? So for any question, you can ask me lah right now. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Sukhairul. Very interesting and very important topic. So all students, please ask questions, and this will definitely come out in your exam. So you better ask now, so that you can understand better. My question, Ayana, just to get the ball rolling. Now that the pandemic has happened for the past, more than 1 year already. So do you think the OSH rules and regulations, the SOPs, should be updated as well to include the pandemic, and how is it affecting the implementation of OSH in companies all over Malaysia and all over the world, maybe because of this pandemic?
Okay, so OSHA 1995 Act is a guideline, something like the acts that governments given to us, yes, to follow through. But in company side, we also need to make sure that either we need to have additional SOP or additional procedures that need to be come out. Yeah, for example, suddenly in university, for example, yes, we have the OSHA Act, but suddenly everybody need to work from home. Yeah, and then probably they come up with some things the guideline lah. For example, in lab, for example, we need to make sure that the arrangement, the students cannot more than six students, yeah, in one shot. Yeah, so we need to come up with our own internal SOP. Yeah, so that's the things that in Proton we have the Gazette Government OSHA Act 1994, but we come up with our own additional SOP, maybe more stringent than the OSHA 1994 Act.